Hey, how y'all doing? This is Son 919 Truth Sports coming to you with another segment. This is just a quick segment I'm doing to talk about the game that Colorado just lost over the weekend to Utah, 23-17. So I want to jump right into it. I'm going to do it a little different than I normally do it. It's going to be short. I won't break it down like I normally do. I'm going to just kind of get through it because it's the last game of the season. We all know what type of team they have, and we all know their record. They finished in last place, just like they did last year, but they look better. So let's get right into it. They did lose 23-17. To me, the team overall played hard and they played good enough to win. I was proud to see them playing like that. I know a lot of guys were sick. They had some out injured. But it was good to see them. They look good. Yes, I do believe, and I normally don't like to say this, that those calls did cost them the game. I'll get into that a little later. So let's go ahead and start with the game. Ryan Staub looked very good. He went 17 for 24 with 195 yards on one touchdown. To me, it was refreshing to see him, and I am a Shador fan, but with Staub back there as a quarterback, he looked like a quarterback running a team instead of looking like a quarterback that's trying to save a team, if that makes sense. He went back. He looked almost of course, he's not professional, but it looked professional. It looked like football is supposed to look. It was just good to see him like that. I was happy for him. I was kind of mad with everybody who criticized him the last game he came in and looked bad. And I'm like, listen, he's a backup. They put him in. It was a bad weather game. It's a cold game. He doesn't get a lot of reps, so how can you really go on the backup in that first game? But this game, he looked like a legit starter. I know they don't have tape on him, of course, so I'm not going to overdo it, but the kid looked good. You have to give him his credit. Again, 17 for 24, 195 yards on one touchdown is great. And as I said, he looked like he was running the team, not trying to save a team, which was refreshing to see. I do find it weird that he didn't get sacked a lot. He only got sacked twice, and he wasn't knocked down a lot. I wonder why that is. It's the same line that everybody's been complaining about. It's the same kids that everybody's been complaining about, and I think they lost that center early. So he didn't get hit a lot. He didn't get sacked a lot. He didn't get knocked down a lot. And if you notice, when he did get knocked down, that line ran and picked him up. And if you watch some of my videos before, I talk about that. That says a lot about how linemen feel about their quarterback is when they run and pick him up or not. It's the same in basketball. If you see a basketball team, if you see a guy hit the floor and nobody really runs to pick him up or rushes to pick him up, believe me when I tell you, they're not getting along with that guy. But they ran and they picked him up, and he paid them back by when he was in the press conference. He said, I appreciate the line. I barely got touched. Look at my uniform. I barely took any hits, barely got touched. So I think that was good. So Ryan Staub looked very good. The offensive line actually looked very good. So I was proud of him in that part of the game. Rushing wise, with the running backs, Wilkerson looked great, 7 for 32 with a 4.6 average. Hankerson looked good, 5 for 16 with a 3.2 average. They were moving the sticks. They looked like a good team. Pass, run, mixing it up. They would look very productive, but then the second half it just stopped. I won't go deep into that because we know their coaching. Nobody's really figured out their coaching yet. Why they stopped doing certain things or doing certain things. We can't really pick up on the coaching. But as far as the kids and them playing, the running backs look good. The quarterback looked good. Let's get into the wide receivers. Finally, there was some creativity in their offensive play calling. Jimmy Horn actually threw a touchdown pass, which was beautiful to watch. Excuse me. Actually got me excited to see that. Travis looked awesome, 8 for 107, one touchdown. It should have been 3 touchdowns. That kid, giving him his credit, was balling. And I can honestly say that the referees definitely do not like Colorado, and it's because of Coach Prime. Let's just be honest, because that kid played a great game, should have had 3 touchdowns, and they should have won that game. And I'm going to get into that in the next couple of minutes. But it was good to see him play that well. And it was also good to see Caleb Mathis get some catches because he's playing hard in practice. They're saying he's one of the better route runners in practice, and to see him get rewarded a little bit, I think he had 2 catches. I was happy for him because he's a freshman and he has something to build on. Getting into the defense real quick. The defense was good. There was a bend not break defense. I don't blame them for not stopping the run. They don't have the size yet, but at the same time, they did not allow Utah to just square wheel over them. They only allowed 23 points, and I think the national average is 30 points. So the defense normally holds up. I mean, it doesn't look good how we would want it to as far as stop, but they normally hold teams below the 30-point game mark. So I was proud to see them do that. The tackling is bad. They tackle, and I hate to say this, I do, but I'm here for the truth. They actually tackle just like their coach used to tackle. A bunch of arm tackles, a bunch of standing up tackling, meaning when they hit the guy, they're still standing up and the guy's still moving. They rarely wrap up and take guys down, especially the cornerbacks. Once they get into the third level of the defense, it's normally not a lot of good tackling on the first hit. That's why Shiloh is the leading tackler, because they get to the third level, and he's not really the greatest tackler because he goes for the knockout hit, which is like a home run hitter. He hits a run every 20 times, but 19 other times he strikes out. But overall, the defense looked good. But I want to say this, because I don't want to have this segment too long, and I'm gonna tell you what's really bothering me, and I don't know if anybody else notices this, but sometimes I ask the question to other YouTubers. I'm talking about YouTubers who only say positive things about Colorado. I call, butt kissers. Let's be honest. Sometimes I ask them, is Coach Prime watching the game or coaching the game? And they never give me a clear answer. And I'm going to tell you why I say this. On that play they called back with Travis, I've been looking at replays. Travis didn't step out. It didn't appear from what I've seen, especially from the well-off media standpoint. They had the best angle that I saw, because on TV they ain't show you nothing really. He didn't step out, okay? Coach, as a coach, go crazy on those referees. Let them know you're not just going to sit back and accept that type of deal with your coach. In basketball, when you have a bad referee and your team looks at you and you don't look interested in fighting for that team, you will lose them. They may not can change a call, but it can change a future call. And let me tell you what I mean by that. By him not fussing with that, the next bad call was when Dylan Edwards had that great return and they called some cut back block or whatever it was, and the team, or excuse me, I can't leave my mind. The TV, the people who's running the broadcast, they never went back and showed it in slow motion. It was really quick. You couldn't really tell what happened, and there was no real explanation. And again, Coach Prime, with his arms crossed, with the microphone not even down his mouth, pulled up, just sits there. I would have went crazy during the game. I would have went crazy after the game when I was getting interviewed at my press conference, because it's ridiculous what we saw. That's 14 points that they took away from those guys. I think 14 or 21 points. I think it was 14, but you have to show fight for your team. He just looks like a casual bystander watching the game, and it drives me absolutely crazy. And yes, that stuff does matter. When a referee sees that you're into the game, they won't let anything just fly by. When your team see you going crazy for them, they gain more and more respect for you. But why would Travis and them argue? No, the coach is not having an argument for them. Why would Dylan argue? Dylan looked very angry. Nobody else is fussing for him. I mean, as far as the head coaches. Now, in the well-off media video that I saw, I forgot the guy's name. He did say something. He did tell the referee, you didn't even see it. You don't even know what happened. And I appreciate him doing that. But it needs to be the head coach. Deion got to get out of this box of just standing there looking like he's just watching and look like he's into the game. Don't look like a casual bystander. Look like you care. I'm not saying you don't care. I'm just going off of visually. And I know some people be like, you don't know what he's thinking? I don't know what he's thinking. So I can only... None of us know what he's thinking, by the way. Even the guys who are talking positive don't know what he's thinking. But I'm just going off of his body language. I'm sitting there watching the game myself, and I'm watching it online, with other people online that's watching it live. And we are going crazy in the chats. We're going crazy in the live. I'm sitting there angry. And Coach Prime looks like the most calmest guy in the world. And then even after the game, all he said was, I think those plays were, I really want to see those again. But, man, get on those referees, man. They don't care nothing about you or your team. And it was obvious against Utah. Now, to their credit, through it all, they still within arm's reach of winning that game. So I'm proud of them. So I was really happy with the whole thing, the team, how they played, everybody. Cormani did get beat a lot, but he's a freshman, and he'll learn from all of that. But I was a little disappointed in Coach Prime. I can't lie. Actually, it's Coach Sanders. We need to stop saying Coach Prime. It's not about him. It's about the team and those kids. So Coach Sanders, I was really disappointed in him, watching him just watch his team without a fight. Some of those, and those were big game-changing plays. And also it takes away from Travis, who could have had 3 touchdowns instead of 1. So I would have loved to see him play that. And another thing that bothered me in the press conference, he brought up, it's the first time I haven't coached my son in the game. It kind of messed with me a little bit. I understand that, but that's for you and your son and your family. That's not for us fans. We don't care about that, to be honest with you. It's a cute story, but at the end of the day, we don't care about that. So, that tells me where his mind frame was. You are a coach. You got to get on with the next man up. It's football. It's a game of attrition. Y'all get hurt a lot. Your son was out this time, which I think he should have been out games ago because I hated to see what he was going through. But next man up, as you say, worry about you and your son and you're not coaching him at home. We're not really into that. We want to see that team do well. We want to see the team succeed, and we want to see the players do well. And so those are just some of the things that bother me. The Coach Prime bothered me more than anything for the whole game. I'm sure a lot of you all would get mad at me, but I'll just try to be as honest as I can. So his mannerisms did bother me because sometimes I feel like I've watched every single game from beginning to end. I've even been out of town, went to a bar, asked them to turn the game on, and then I was sitting right at the bar, had them put Colorado's game on right in front of me. And I was out of town when this happened. So I watch every game from beginning to end. I am invested. I do like watching them. But at the same time, sometimes I feel like I care more than he does. And if I'm the only one who feels that way, then I take all the backlash that I deserve. But at the same time, that's just how I feel. I'm mad. I'm upset days later about that call. I still wish it was some way I could protest it, but it won't help because it won't change the outcome of the game. But that's 2 touchdowns taken away from a player who should have had 3, and that's taken away a possible victory of a team who deserved to win. And with 5 wins, they were still talking about they still possibly could have made a bowl game, even though you don't deserve it with only 5 wins. But they could have made a bowl game because there are not enough teams with 6 wins from what they're saying. So that's a quick segment on the game. It's been Hunt 919, a Truth Sports. Ride with me.